There's a lot of you out there, and I don't know any academics can express an idea in 3 minutes. Access to clean air is essential for supporting life on the planet. Unpolluted air is priceless and worth all of our efforts to maintain it. Once air is polluted, it is hard to reverse course. That polluted air becomes a new starting point for the next development application. T4 air quality assessment is old-fashioned. It misses recent air and health science. The linear relationship between particle concentrations, disease, and death means that there is no safe level of air pollution. Something is lost from every increase in air pollution, irrespective of the formal standards. Yet the EA only considers whether T4 adds more days when the standard is exceeded. Hunter residents should not be condemned to live under a cloud of pollution for decades into the future based on a pollution assessment method that is decades old. A 2013 WHO review confirms the causal link between both short-term and long-term exposure to PM2.5 particles and premature death. These fine particles cause respiratory disease, such as asthma and lung cancer, as well as fatal and non-fatal heart disease. PM10, the particle size of coal dust, is linked to respiratory disease and death through its own disease pathway and should be considered equally with PM2.5. T4 consultants did not cite this WHO review. Furthermore, there is no health impact assessment. Without a health impact assessment, we won't know how T4 pollution will affect local residents. Negative impacts fall disproportionately on the most vulnerable. Those without incomes to buffer the effects of pollution, people with chronic disease, children, the elderly, and so forth. About 23,000 people live in the 8 suburbs closest to T4. Demographically, there are lower household incomes and higher rates of unemployment. 1/3 are children or elderly, and there are 21 nursing homes, schools, and preschools in that area. Now, T4 will make already poor air quality near the port even worse. Industry monitoring sites near Kooragang are already above the WHO PM10 annual standards. Our CTAG neighborhood dust monitoring found above standard daily readings in homes in Ties Hill and Carrington. Our trackside monitoring of coal trains recorded substantial spikes in particulates lasting several minutes. We observed that carcinogenic diesel exhaust is a big part of the coal train pollution, and 32,000 residents live within 500 meters of the coal corridor, plus about 23,000 children attending school there. The unsafe assumptions of air modeling that I found in reading the report suggest, first of all, they only chose one year, 2010, was used to represent regional air quality, when other years had higher pollution. An average of many years should have been used. Secondly, the T4 site pollution is based on 2 locomotives per train pulling 7,200 tons of coal. We believe that it takes 3 locos to do that. And it assumes that coal trains spend only 2 hours on the site when we think it probably takes longer. And finally, we might ask about the assumptions. Can the world best practice control fugitive and dust emissions without fail? Can increases in extreme weather leading to wind erosion really be handled by predictive and reactive monitoring, which primarily adds more water to the piles? Sunday's extreme weather, which we all experienced, blowing across Kooragang Island, brought very high particulate levels to Stockton. Finally, and it's a point touched on others, the rail line is off limits, it seems. Port Waitaw does not acknowledge responsibility for coal rail corridor impacts, but says it would work with the ARTC and the miners around reducing train emissions. Yet, the proven failure of the ARTC consultants to properly measure coal train emissions and the endorsement of that failed study by the ARTC, EPA, and the miners suggests the community will probably never see serious mitigation of corridor emissions. Thank you.